Do you know that only 1% of delivery vehicles are electric? As an investor, I smell some money to be made here. I think you're going to like what I've got for you, so you want to stick around. If you're new to the channel, welcome to Stockflix. This is the place where you get the best in class stock picks. I go out, do all the research, and present it to you on some of the best companies out there, and hopefully you should make some good money. All I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button and become part of the Stockflix family. So today we're talking about Workhorse and the electric vehicle logistics market. But why do we care about all of that anyway? I think there's three main reasons. The first is that there's so much changing regulation supporting the electric vehicle market in the delivery space. So much change is going on there. The second is that the move towards computerization for delivery vehicles. Companies are wanting their delivery vehicles a lot more sophisticated, geared up with the latest tech, and that is where the market is moving. The third is the cost saving of an electric vehicle over a gas vehicle, given the drop in battery prices now. So those are the reasons why we care. That coupled with the fact that only 1% of the fleet is electric. So there's a huge addressable market there. So there's going to be some real winners in this space. As you know, as investors, we are forward looking and we want to get in there early to make sure that we have the upside, that nice run, and 10x our money. So the electric vehicle logistics market is an interesting one. And it's kind of characterized by two things. One's fragmentation. There's a lot of different players. No one has real dominance. And the second is a lot of delays. Not very many companies have cars ready to go. A lot of these cars are in production, ready for 2021, 2022. So Amazon have ordered 10,000 vehicles from Rivian to be delivered in 2022, and they're going to up this to 100,000 vehicles in 2030. UPS have ordered 10,000 vehicles from a UK company called Arrival, and this is to be delivered by 2024. So as you can see, there are long horizons for delivery for these vehicles. So the market is just getting warm. The market is heating up. And we know that this is going to be a big market in the future. So as investors, this is the perfect time for us to be assessing this market, jumping in and potentially buying some shares in some good companies in the industry. Now, this is why we're going to be talking about Workhorse, because Workhorse, if you didn't know, specializes in that last mile of delivery. Now, they're an electric vehicle company. They also have a couple of nuances, like they have their drone, which connects to their van, and they're trying to be the leader in that space. So let's jump in, let's look at the share price for Workhorse to start off with. So I've just pulled up the share price graph for Workhorse. As you can see, they've had a pretty spicy 2020. They started off about $2 to $3. They jumped right up to about the $30 mark, and they pulled back down to about $19. The key thing to note here is that they submitted a bid to be part of the USPS contract to revamp their vehicles, their old postal vehicles. This is about a $6 to $8 billion contract, and they're part of a small group of other companies who have submitted a bid. And that optimism really drove their share price up. Given that bid is being delayed to the end of this year, the share price pulled back on some fears that they might not win the bid might not go ahead. So we're standing currently at $19. So, it's an interesting time to be looking at investing in Workhorse. They're not too lofty. They, on a multiples basis, yes, they are operating pretty high given their low revenue numbers. But we've seen what good news can do to the stock, right? This could be a stock that can double, triple on some good news, and there's still hope of them being part of that contract with USPS. So it is an interesting time to be looking at the stock. $19. You can see they've got a bit of a support line here at about $15. So there's not going to be too much pullback, even if they were not to win that contract or be part of it at least. You'd probably see a share price drop of a couple of points down to, I would say, about that 15 mark, because they have been winning some deals recently, which we'll get onto. So as I mentioned, Workhorse has recently received a purchase order just a few days ago for 500 of its C1000 all-electric vehicles from Pritchard. Now I think this is a fantastic achievement for Workhorse and could be the start of some big things, because Pritchard, been doing some digging into them, they're not a small player in the market. You know, these guys have been operating for many years. They have good standing relationships with their customers, and this could be part of a reoccurring purchase cycle from them. So, you know, this 500 could really turn into a lot of revenue down the road for Workhorse. And it could also be seen as the start of other companies making purchase orders with Workhorse and them starting to get in a nice steady stream of orders and sales. So as you can see, Pritchard is a pretty flexible business to be working with. Their consumers contact them, they partner up, and the fleet is then sent. So I think this could be the start of some pretty good news for Workhorse. You know, their fleets are getting noticed, they are getting orders, and it even says, they even go on to say that, you know, this could be the start of a reoccurring order cycle from them. So I'm pretty happy with this news. You know, they're making some grounds. So if we take a look at Workhorse's financials, they're a mixed bag really, but there's one thing that really stands out to me, and I think is interesting and should help the company. Revenues are about $500 million, which for a company that's worth in the billions isn't amazing. It's not profitable, and its loss for the quarter was actually a lot more than the consensus. But you know, they are a growing business, so it's not too scary to see as an investor. But what I do like about Workhorse is that they hold a very good cash position. And this cash position is a nice healthy sum of about $80 million. The thing with Workhorse is they're very financially literate. One thing I like about Workhorse is they actually have a fleet ready to go. A lot of their competitors are scrambling right now on the assembly lines, trying to put models together, still working on the technology, still trying to get things right and push models out for 2021, 2022 and beyond. Workhorse are ready to go now. So this should really put them in good standing with customers like Pritchard, who come to them looking for a fleet of vehicles ready to go. They're also working for a nice healthy backlog of orders. So where do I see Workhorse going from here? Well, I really think there's three routes Workhorse can go. The first is if they win 100% of the contract of USPS, that $6 to $8 billion contract, then I think we're looking at a mega player. I think their share price will explode over 100%. And if you've invested in Workhorse, you make a hell of a lot of money off that. And I think going forward, they'll just be a real dominant force in the industry, similar to the likes of a Tesla, but in the EV logistics space. So the second route I see for Workhorse is if they actually win part of that contract, which is probably the most likely outcome, you'll probably see a nice share price appreciation to the high 20s, maybe even low 30s. They have a better brand image than they do now, and you'll probably see them get a few more orders, a couple of 500 orders, a couple of 1,000 orders of fleet here and there off the back of them winning part of that contract. The third outcome, which is if they don't get any piece of that contract, then I think we're talking Workhorse has a uphill battle from there. It won't be a big player in the market, they won't have a massive brand name, and you'll probably see them get drips and drabs of orders here and there. A couple of orders here, a few orders there, but Workhorse won't be a big name in the market. So you're probably looking at a sideways moving company on a share price basis for a while until the industry picks up steam in 3, 4, 5 years, and then you might see an uplift on their share price as they get bigger and better in the industry. So that's my take on Workhorse. Drop a comment down below. What do you think? Are you a Workhorse investor? Where do you think this company is going? I like to spark up a debate in my comment section. Please hit a like on this video, it helps the channel out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join the StockFix family. I post every single day without fail. I don't eat, I don't sleep without posting value to my viewers. I hope you liked this video. Check in next time. Take care now.